Venerable Master Xuan (1840–1959) was one of the most significant Chan Zen monks in modern Chinese Buddhist history. His life was marked by exceptional practice, the revitalization of monasteries, and a tireless commitment to the revival of Buddhism during China's turbulent modern era. Born with the secular surname Zi, Master Xuan took monastic vows at the age of 19 at the Yongquan Temple in Fuzhou, receiving the Dharma name Guyan and the courtesy name Deqing. Birth and early life. During the early years of the Daoguang Emperor's reign in the Qing Dynasty, China faced the invasion of foreign powers. Xuan's father, Mr. Zi Yutong, served as an official in Quanzhou. Both Mr. Zi and his wife, Madame Yan, were devout Buddhists. Unfortunately, Madame Yan, despite being in her 40s, had not yet borne any children. One day, after burning incense and praying at the Qing Temple, both Mr. Zi and his wife had the same dream. They saw an elderly man with a long beard, dressed in a green robe, riding a tiger and rushing into Madame Yan's embrace. Soon after, Madame Yan became pregnant. When the long-awaited day arrived, the family hoped for a son to continue the Zi family lineage. However, instead of a baby, Madame Yan gave birth to a large fleshy mass. Due to her advanced age and the shock of the unusual birth, Madame Yan passed away. An elderly medicine peddler volunteered to help and cut open the mass, revealing a fair and healthy baby boy inside. Despite the grief, the family found some comfort in this miraculous birth. The motherless child was raised by his stepmother, Lady Wang. From a young age, the boy displayed a special inclination toward visiting temples with his family. At 13, he felt great joy when he saw Buddha statues and heard the chanting of Buddhist scriptures, and he developed a strong desire to become a monk. Monastic life. At 17, Xuan made several attempts to leave home and retreat to the mountains to pursue monastic life, but each time he was brought back by his family. Concerned for his son, Mr. Zi married him to two beautiful young women, hoping to deter him from becoming a monk. However, Xuan was deeply committed to Buddhism. Over time, his wives also became spiritually inclined and transformed from romantic partners into spiritual companions. At 19, Xuan felt the time was right and left home for good. He traveled to Yongquan Temple in Fuzhou and took monastic vows under Master Miao Lian. To avoid being found by his family, he retreated to a mountain cave, living on wild fruits and spring water, while engaging in rigorous meditation and scripture recitation, undeterred by the dangers of wild animals. After 3 years in seclusion, he learned that his father had passed away shortly after retiring, and that his stepmother and wives had also become nuns. Free from worldly attachments, Xuan dedicated himself entirely to his spiritual path. Following the guidance of esteemed monks, he studied the Lotus Sutra, traveled to Mount Putuo to seek further teachings, and deepened his practice. Legend and miracles. Xuan's life was filled with legendary stories that have been passed down through generations. 1. Profound meditation and wisdom. Master Xuan was renowned for his deep meditation practice. One story tells of him entering a profound state of meditation during extreme cold, remaining in that state for 9 days and nights. When he emerged, he had fully grasped the essence of the Dharma. His body was found covered in snow and ice, yet he was unharmed, demonstrating the power of his meditative practice. 2. Compassionate healing. Xuan was also revered for his compassion. Once, while traveling through Fujian, he encountered a severely ill farmer who had been bedridden for a long time. After offering Buddhist teachings and performing traditional healing practices, the farmer miraculously recovered. This story highlights Xuan's deep compassion and his ability to alleviate suffering. 3. Resilience and determination. Xuan's resilience was legendary. In the 1930s, amid social turmoil in China, many temples were destroyed or taken over. Unfazed, Xuan led his disciples across the country, rebuilding countless temples. Despite facing numerous dangers, including being kidnapped by bandits and surviving floods, he persevered, successfully restoring many Buddhist sites. His unwavering spirit made him a symbol of the Buddhist revival. 4. Supernatural foresight. Xuan was believed to have supernatural foresight. It is said that during meditation, he once foresaw an impending earthquake and warned local monks and residents, allowing many to escape to safety. This event further solidified his revered status among Buddhist followers. 5. Conversion of bandits. During his travels, Xuan was once captured by bandits. Initially intent on killing him, The bandits were moved by his teachings and remorseful for their actions. They eventually renounced their violent ways and became Buddhist devotees, illustrating Zhuan's profound compassion and ability to transform even the hardest of hearts. 6. Miraculous meditation. Zhuan's meditation practice was so advanced that he was reportedly undisturbed by external conditions. On one occasion, while he was meditating, a fire broke out in the temple. Despite the flames, Zhuan remained in deep meditation, unharmed by the fire, which eventually extinguished on its own. This story is considered a miracle in the Buddhist community, symbolizing his imperturbable spiritual state. 7. Vision of Buddha. In his later years, while restoring Nanhua Temple, Zhuan once felt a powerful, auspicious presence. That night, he witnessed countless Buddhas appearing in the sky above the temple hall. This vision was seen as a sign of divine approval for his efforts to revitalize Buddhism. 8. Rebuilding temples. Throughout his life, Zhuan dedicated himself to rebuilding and restoring numerous temples, especially during periods when Buddhism was under severe threat. At Zhenru Temple, despite a lack of funds, he lived on simple meals and endured great hardship without complaint. Miraculous events, such as donors' wealth inexplicably increasing and workers experiencing miraculous recoveries, were attributed to his deep spiritual practice. 9. Praying for snow. In 1900, during the Boxer Rebellion, Beijing was invaded by the Eight-Nation Alliance, and the Empress Dowager Cixi fled to Xi'an. At the time, a severe plague had broken out, exacerbated by the sweltering summer heat, and many people were dying. Moved by the suffering of the people, Zhuan organized a prayer ceremony at Yongquan Temple, praying for snow to cool the air and end the plague. Nearly 1,000 monks joined the prayer, and after 7 days, heavy snow began to fall. While others returned to the temple, Zhuan continued to pray on the platform, understanding that the snowfall needed to be substantial to truly alleviate the suffering. He meditated and chanted for another 7 days, resulting in a deep blanket of snow covering the region, which helped bring the plague under control. Hearing of this miraculous event, Empress Dowager Cixi, deeply moved, visited Yongquan Temple in the snow, knelt before Zhuan, and offered her gratitude. Master Zhuan's praying for snow story became a widely celebrated miracle among Buddhists and the local populace, further illustrating his profound spiritual power and influence. It also reinforced the belief that sincere devotion and virtuous deeds can evoke a response from the natural world. Master Zhuan's life is a testament to the power of dedication, compassion, and spiritual practice. His legacy continues to inspire Buddhists worldwide, serving as a guiding light for those on the path to enlightenment.